Hey friends, welcome back to Grand Adventure. I'm your host Mark Guido and welcome to South Texas. We're visiting South Padre Island in this episode, so stay tuned. Our RV tour of the western half of Texas continues. Our intention coming here had been to boondock right on the sand at Boca Chica Beach, the southernmost point in Texas. However, we opted to move over to Isla Blanca County Park on South Padre Island for several reasons. For starters, it's a whole lot hotter here in South Texas at the end of September and beginning of October than we'd expected. We incorrectly thought things would be starting to cool off by now, and an electrical hookup for constant air conditioning is practically a necessity, even with an onshore sea breeze. There were also issues with Boca Chica Beach itself. For one, there's a lot of trash washed up on the beach here, and we mean a lot. Given the beach's proximity to the Rio Grande, and the fact that most of the rubbish has Mexican labels, we've surmised that much of this trash has washed down the river with the recent monsoon rains. Finally, we had concerns for our personal safety. We arrived at the southern end of the beach to find the mouth of the Rio Grande only about 50 feet wide here and waist deep. While we're standing on U.S. land to take this shot, those cars are in Mexico. And if an article from last month in USA Today is to be believed, drug cartels completely control the spot where those cars are parked as a shipping point for drugs. Given that it's trivial to walk across the border here and that the southern half of Boca Chica Beach is all but deserted, we decided that we're not comfortable boondocking here. One unique thing to see adjacent to Boca Chica Beach is SpaceX Corporation's Texas launch site. It's here, right alongside the Boca Chica Road, that Elon Musk is developing the SpaceX Starship, a long-duration cargo and passenger-carrying reusable spacecraft. Another Starship orbital prototype is being built by a competing team in Florida. It's designed to be used for anything from satellite delivery to a passenger carrying transport to Mars. So after giving Boca Chica Beach a boondocking thumbs down, we've retreated to Isla Blanca Park, which occupies the entire southern tip of South Padre Island, adjacent to the shipping channel into Brownsville. This massive park, operated by Cameron County, includes 600 RV sites, and except for a handful of partial hookup sites outside the main gate, they all have full hookups for prices ranging from $35 to $50 per night in this off-season, or $55 to $70 per night in summer. We're paying $200 per week for this spacious grassy site with full hookups, and at this time of year, there's plenty of elbow room. All sites are within walking distance of the park's gorgeous Gulf of Mexico beach, while fishermen try to land redfish in the bay and shipping channel. South Padre Island is a barrier island, formed when the creation of the Port Mansfield Channel split Padre Island in two. The resort city of South Padre Island, a popular vacation destination, is located at the island's southern end. The island's main industry is, of course, tourism, with tens of thousands of college students flocking to the island every spring break. In winter, the island hosts snowbirds, many of whom arrive with their RVs. North of town, the island takes on a much more pristine character. Westerners began to settle the area following the arrival of Padre Jose Nicolas Bowie, a priest and missionary who set up a cattle ranch on the island early in the 19th century. Padre Bowie was driven out by the Mexican-American War and was unable to return because of the American Civil War. Most of the island was closed by the National Park Service until 1962, after which settlement was allowed, and arrivals began to establish an economy on the island and in neighboring Port Isabel. Today, the 2.5-mile Queen Isabella Causeway connects the two. Folks are allowed to drive right on the beach in much of this portion of the Texas Gulf Coast, and dispersed camping is permitted in many of these areas. Doing so, however, requires keeping a close eye on both the weather and incoming tides. We're working from the rig business hours Monday to Friday, but this affords us the opportunity to get out and see the area and recreate after work. Today, we're going to drop our kayak in the water at the Isla Blanca Park boat ramp to paddle along some of the island's bayshore. For our final night on South Padre Island, we're venturing out to Laguna Bob's, a colorful shack offering seafood, burgers, and a full bar, in a laid-back outdoor space with a waterfront deck and live music. we can heartily recommend their fried Texas Gulf shrimp basket. So we truly hope that you've enjoyed visiting South Padre Island with us. In next week's episode, we're going to venture north up the coast about 3.5 hours to visit Padre Island, National Seashore. If you're not yet one of our grand adventurers, therefore, now's the time. Smash that little red subscribe button down there in the corner and ring that notification bell so you get notifications of each new episode of Grand Adventure each and every Wednesday. We'd love to hear from you in the comments section down below each video. And we would be honored if you shared Grand Adventure with your friends, family, and on social media. Perhaps most importantly, however, if you like this video, please give us a big thumbs up down below. Until next week, please remember, life is nothing but a grand adventure. We'll see you then.